Welcome to the family, the ProStars family, Doc's family. Harold Daniels, Ph.D., NFL player agent, and professor of mathematics at Los Angeles Harvard Community College, known to his family and friends as just Doc, played 6 years in the NFL, and for the last 25 years through his company, PSI, Professional Stars Incorporated, has been representing professional football players, negotiating their contracts.
Doc was the big asset of my career. You know, he got me a pretty good contract, and he's been a good part of my life, you know, just not only being my agent, he's a friend, and he's done good things for me.
He's still there. You know, I still could call, talk to him, laugh, hang out with him. I mean, do it all. He's like a brother and a dad in a lot of ways, and a lot of people look up to him.
I can call him and talk about anything, so that would help me as being a father towards me. And since my father passed away 2 years ago, and so he stepped in for him, and so that's making me feel better as a player and as a client.
Me and Doc, we became close. We're close now, and that's part of the main reason why I picked Doc to represent me.
Yes, professional football can be a wonderful reality for a few, but it all begins as a dream of many.
Hesitating, Mama's arms outstretched and waiting. No one knows what happens next. A fall to the ground or the very first step. There's never perfect circumstances. You just do your best and you take your chances. And somewhere you'll know when it's time to take that step. 'Cause that's what dreams are made of. A little love, hope and desire. Yeah, that's what dreams are made of. Always lifting you a little higher. If there's a tomorrow, there's a glimmer of hope. 'Cause that's what dreams are made of. Never let go. Never let go.
And more times than not, a childhood idol, a hero, can spark those dreams.
A bell in a ghetto schoolyard ringing. No one is a prisoner here. Imagination knows no fear.
I dreamed it, but it didn't seem like it was ever going to get here. It's like the years were just going so slow. And I mean, like you say, it's a dream. It's a dream. Now to get to be able to play.
Yeah, I dreamed about it a lot. You know, I've always wanted to play pro football since I played, Little League, and it just came so quick.
I used to dream about it when I was a little kid all the time. That was my dream, to become an NFL football player.
That's my dream, is to play there. It's a stepping process, and this is just where I have to go before I come down back to the NFL. I would love to play in the NFL.
And, it's probably the biggest day of my life because this is what I've done all my life to get here to this moment. But I probably don't really realize how big it is. I probably know, like, tomorrow or something will finally hit me. Wow, I'm in the NFL or something.
I was always concerned when the kids were in school that they get a good education. The odds of getting into a national football team is 1,000,000 to 1 or greater. So no, it's still kind of a dream thing that you can figure out. That's one of the things that parents worry about the most is when your kids grow up, are they going to be able to take care of themselves? And so it's such a relief to have them, to be able to go into a situation like this.
And of course, with a little love, hope, and desire, sometimes those dreams really can come true.
I always looked up to my brother. I wanted to be like my older brother, and I think if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been as good as an athlete as I am, because I always wanted to be better than him.
My family. I just have to say my family because, they've been behind me. It's not really one particular person to do this. It seems like they're all pushing from different angles, but pushing me ahead. So it's my family. My family is my role model.
Basically, I think what influenced me is my uncle. He played when I was young. He was in high school, and I used to go to all his games. And ever since then, I just always wanted to play. Follow his footsteps.
My mother and my grandmother, they stuck beside me ever since I was little. They're probably the two most important people when it comes to talking about getting me where I was. When I was born, my lung collapsed, and I was asthmatic, and a lot of things were going wrong, and they just stayed behind me and backed me up through the whole time.
As far as his playing a lot of sports when he was growing up, we basically come from a sports state, which is Texas, and a sports town where when kids went out and played sports, the whole town got involved in it. So it was like a community type effort where everybody just came out and supported the kids and playing soccer, football, baseball, everything.
And after all the years, the blood, the sweat, the tears, all of the teams and all the dreams, the hurt and the joy, since you were just a boy, a time of reckoning for some, D-Day has finally come.
If you call out loud, will it get inside to the heart of your surrender, to your alibis, and you can say the words like you understand, but the power's in believing, so give yourself a chance. Cause you can climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest sea. All you need is the will to want it and a little self-esteem. So keep the faith. Don't let nobody turn you around. You got to know when it's good to go. Get your dreams up off of the ground. So keep the faith.
Right now it's like mass confusion. Basically, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just open. I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. Second, first, third, fourth, anything. I just want to get there, get a shot.
I'm very nervous right about now. It's a lot of things going on, the draft and everything, but I'm just really nervous right now.
Basically, feeling of helplessness. I mean, you really don't know where you're going. Your future's kind of on hold right now, and It's just a matter of waiting, you know, and there's no telling who's going to pick you, what round they're going to pick you in. It's just a matter of, there's a lot of anxiety built up a little bit, and I'm trying not to let it get to me because it's not in my control.
I just want to see them make it, that's all. And then, I mean, once they get their foot through the door, I feel like, you know, they're going to work hard enough and Doc going to stay on their back when they do make the team. And he'll make sure they make the team. So, I mean, it helps out the family. Believe me, making it in the NFL helps out your family and yourself.
Name's Steve Broussard from Washington State. I feel very nervous but excited, and I'm ready to go early.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of nervous, upset stomach, but because I know how these guys feel, and you sit around and wait all day, you know, it could hurt you, you know, especially if you're supposed to be picked in a certain round, and you don't get picked that day, and it's nerve-wracking.
It's kind of hard to imagine if you haven't been there. It's heart-wrenching. You know, you just sit there and every pick you just want to, is it gonna be me? Is it gonna be me? And it's an experience I'm never gonna forget, that's for sure.
I still stay anxious, just nervous as can be, just like starting from day one.
Very nervous and anxious more than anything else. You know, the wait is difficult, very, very difficult. It's extremely hard just waiting.
Well, I feel a whole lot of adrenaline. I'm hoping that he'll be called soon. I'm expecting great things for him, yes.
Right now, I'm feeling very excited, and if they don't hurry up and call my kid, I'm going to be a nervous wreck.
So keep the faith.
Faith. As an athlete, keeping the faith in yourself can be the easy part. You're familiar with competition and your own skills and talents on the playing field. You had to believe in yourself to even have made it this far. But what about representation and negotiation? Having trust and faith in your agent is just as important. So what is it about the man, Harold Daniels, that deserves that faith?
To me, Doc came to me straightforward. I mean, you know, a lot of agents, you know, I met from top to bottom. And, you know, some agents come at you and fill you up with all this helium, all this smoke, and tell you you're the greatest and you'll never be, you know, you'll never lose. You know, you're the best guy in the NFL, and you this, you that, and then they talk about one another. And, you know, I didn't want to hear all that. Just tell me about yourself, and we just leave it like that. I mean, this is business, so talk about yourself. Don't talk about this guy's a bad agent and this guy's a bad agent, because every agent not good for everybody.
What really attracted me to Doc was his very professional, business-minded attitude and air that he cares about himself. And I like the way he handled a good friend of mine, Steve Broussard. And I really respect the things that he did for Steve. So when it was time for me to choose an agent, I talked to Steve, and he had nothing but good things to say about ProStars and Doc and how we handled it, and make sure he assured me that Doc was going to go out there and swing for me, and that's what I needed, was a doctor that could, you know, an agent that could come out there and really just hustle for me.
Well, I would choose an agent as if the guy come to talk to me, just as a person, to really know me as a person, not as just making money for himself. You know, if that type of guy come to me and talk to me as myself and understand what I want to achieve in life, I choose him as an agent.
Basically, I like to deal with each player individually because they are individuals, and I like to cater to their needs. Being an educator, I think that I have an education philosophy. Basically, I want them to learn about what's going on in their life. I don't want to just take over their life and do everything for them. I want to teach them what goes on. I want to teach them about managing money. I want to teach them about doing their own contracts. And someday they don't need me. They can do it themselves. A lot of agents don't want that because they want the kids' money. But I like to make sure the kids know what's going on, that when I start talking about what I'm doing in the contract, they understand. You know, it's nothing foreign to them, okay?
That's what he's about. He is about getting you understanding about the league and what you're about to face. And that's what a friendship come in at.
He seemed to be a pretty down-to-earth guy. You know, he came at me, and seeing how I had an injury, you know, he didn't back off. He continued, you know, to have trust in me as I would have trust in him, you know, to rehab, to get back, you know. And he didn't let me down like, you know, a lot of other agents, once they found out I'd been injured, they kind of, you know, shied off, but he stayed in there for me.
Having an injury myself and knowing that it just takes a little work to come back from, and I played 6 years in the NFL after I got my first injury with my knee. So I know you can come back and play again. You know, all you have to make your mind up you're going to rehab. And when I met him, he seemed like a very determined person. So I said, hey, there's a guy I want to represent. Because he was rated real high before he got hurt. And he's going to play for a long time. I don't care whether he gets drafted or become a free agent. He's going to play in the NFL a long time.
Sean asked a couple of years ago about going out, and he had talked to Steinberg and I think maybe a couple other people, and he selected Doc, and I've met Doc, and I feel very, very confident in Doc. Doc's got experience, and of course Josh is very personable. So if Sean feels comfortable, then I feel comfortable.
A very extraordinary person. Not only is he a good athlete, very good person from Napa Valley, California. When I first met him, we just took to each other. It's like like I was his dad or his big brother or something.
I did my searching around, and the thing I like about Harold Daniels and Joshua Lux is they seem to have a lot of integrity. With his situation, you know, because he's such a good agent, all the other agents are trying to dirt him. You know, they say bad things about him at the drop of a dime, and I wanted to see if he would do that with other people, and he did. And that in itself made me have a lot of respect for him, and it's obvious that they do good, great contracts and things of that nature. And so, you know, for me, it was just the way they carried themselves.
Of course, Kevin had his choice. He had other agents, and he talked to a lot of agents, you know, along with us. And Doc proved to be the best agent at that time. Point.
I'm kind of happy he went with Doc. You know, I've known him since Daniels when he had Richard. But he's a nice person, and if it wasn't for Daniels, Kevin wouldn't have gotten the exposure that he received in the latter part of you know, his career. So I'm really happy, you know, that he picked Doc.
How I came to meet Doc was, he was also my brother's agent. My brother just recently stopped playing 2 years ago. He was with the Detroit Lions. And Doc was his agent. I was all planned to go with somebody else in Houston. I came home and my brother was like, you know, just meet with Doc. After I met with him, it was done deal. We've been hooked up since.
I think all of the decisions that Othello ultimately made, those decisions had input as far as a family is concerned. We sit down and we sit at the dinner table with the grandmother, grandfather, mother and father, and everybody. We sit down and everybody give their input, and ultimately he comes up with the final decision.
I started talking to Doc, and Doc was probably one of the closest people to fit my personality, other than the other agents that I talked to and everything. I really clung to Doc, and me and Doc, you know, we became close. We're close now, and that's probably the main reason why I picked Doc to represent me.
Well, as many, the school would tell you about different agents, and different people would approach you to tell you. And I appreciated his approach, Dr. Daniels' approach. You know, he wasn't pushy at all. And he wasn't concerned about what someone else could do or what someone else didn't do. Doc was always concerned about my child, as well as what Dr. Daniels could do for us as an agent. And I appreciated that, because when you get to the point where you start getting a call from every agent around, it becomes confusing. Not only does it become confusing, it's a little taxing, because several of the agents were a little negative. You know, they were telling you something that wasn't pleasant against another agent, but Doc didn't do that. He was only concerned about my child, what he could do for my child, and what he could do for us. And that I appreciate it.
The one thing I think I'm trying to emulate is the kind of relationships that he's able to forge with these players. They're bonds that, to this day, I haven't quite figured out how he gets so close and so tight with the families and the friends of every player.
Yeah, I've been happy, because I can call him, we joke around, we don't have to talk about money or talk about negotiations and stuff like that. I can call him and talk about anything, and so that would help me as being a father towards me. And since my father passed away 2 years ago, and so he stepped in for him, and so that's making me feel better as a player and as a client.
I mean, I can't say Doc is good for the next person, but he's good for me. I mean, he helps me out. He's there for me. I could call him. He's only a phone call away, or he's a drive away. Some agents you cannot find like that you could just call and get in touch with them. Some it takes weeks, maybe a month or two to get in touch with him, because he has so many big-time guys, or he's just not the type of agent that really want to talk to you. I mean, he got you signed, he got your money. So I mean, for Doc, I signed my contract. I mean, Doc got paid, but he's still there. I still could call, talk to him, laugh, hang out with him. I mean, do it all. He's like a brother and a dad in a lot of ways, and a lot of people look up to him.
Well, I'm glad they say that, because that's really what I try to be. I try to be that father image, basically get their discipline, and I like to be that brother image so that they'll tell me really what's going on in their minds.
And when you think of trust, does it lead you home? A place that you only dream of when you're all alone. And you can run on the hill instead of saying
22, Emmett Smith.
I was in believing, so give yourself a chance. I know that you can sail across the water, float across the sky. Any road that you take will get you there if you want to try. So keep the faith down. Don't let nobody take you down. Just keep your eyes on the path, flat on the ground. So keep the faith, baby, yeah. 'Cause it's just a matter of time before your confidence will win out. I told my brother how to do the thing.
All right, you've made it this far. Your college career is behind you, and now you're ready for that next step, waiting for that magical moment when it's your name that gets called. Of course, your performance and ability speak for themselves, but have you put yourself into the best possible situation for the draft?
But as far as getting ready for the workouts and the draft is concerned, after the combine, that's not the only time that these teams see you. We set up, this year we set up 3 dates for the general managers, the owners. They came, the general managers, owners, director of player personnel, college director of player personnel. We're talking about scouts, head coaches in many cases, and they came down on those 3 dates that we had set up and we had structured here locally to see all of our clients perform in the best conditions. Lots of times they've had to run their 40-yard dashes over at the combine and they complain that the turf is very slow. We put them on a track and we make sure it's a fast track and that the field is in a good condition over here. Well, we put them on a field that we think is conducive to their performance, their best performance. So we're able to control our workouts and make sure our guys show the best and help them get into the best situation possible to get them drafted, prepare them for today.
And that's what they explained. They said, look, we're going to get you out there and we're going to get NFL people to look at you. But it's going to be your name and your ability that is going to get you where you want to be.
The biggest knock on Sean was, he's a great receiver, he's a hands guy, he's a possession guy, he lacks speed. So what did we do? We got a track guy, a personal trainer working with him 5 days a week, some cases 4 days a week. Sean liked to vacation a little bit. Working on nothing but speed with Sean. Worked on that 40-yard time, worked on his strength, worked on his form.
Another thing is with PSI, they had got me a track coach, and they did all that on their own to help me out in my 40 time, and it helped me out because when I'm with my track coach, I run great.
I went to the combines. I didn't run like I was supposed to run and everything. And Doc and Pro Stars, they helped me. They set up a lot of other meetings where I could work out for the scouts. You know, I couldn't work out up at UCLA, and he made it possible where I could work out at other schools for professional teams and everything. And I really appreciated that.
Doc really put some quality time in on spreading my name throughout the NFL, trying to get me, as well as the CFL, trying to get people just to look at me. He believed in me and believed that I can play despite not getting drafted. And his confidence in me led other people, as far as in the NFL and the CFL, to open up an eye, you know, to look at me, to see what Doc was ranting and raving about. Who is this kid, John Diggs, basically.
I think they've done a fine job considering the injury I've had. They've got me workouts, more than enough, and made me visible to teams, after my surgery, and it really helped me out a lot.
A guy like Eric Nelson, he needed the rehabilitation. We went to the Rams doctor, Dr. Clarence Shields. Dr. Shields oversaw his rehabilitation at the Kerlan Jobe Orthopedic Clinic, which is a world-renowned place for knees and ankles, and that worked out very well for Eric.
They've definitely helped me come a long way.
Congratulations, you're in the NFL. It's time for the fun to begin, right? Well, it can be, but at this level, it's not just a game anymore, it's your livelihood. Your family's future can depend on every move you make, on and off the field as well.
You know, NFL, you out there playing, you get hurt, you're done. If you injure yourself in the wrong fashion or form. You know, in college, you just out there play football. You wake up, Saturday morning is game day. You go out there, play, and enjoy it, and that's it. You know, here it's like, once you play football, you got to worry about bills, you got to worry about paying this and doing this. It's just a lot of responsibility.
You know, PSI, it's more of a trust thing with me right now. I'm trusting them and they're trusting me. I'm going to have a great year coming up, and they're going to rework my contract. They're going to be in charge of doing my contract next year and any things that lead up to that. So I'm just new at PSI, but I've been associated with people who have been, with PSI already, and I've heard nothing but good things about them. And it was good enough for me to leave my old agent to come to PSI, the person who got me started in NFL. So, it's a loyalty thing, and it had to be something that was really, really high up there. I had to really have a lot of respect for them, and I had to really put a lot of trust into them, for me to leave. And I feel really good about the situation. I think it's going to be a great partnership.
Being an educator, I try to make sure that they all stay in school, and the ones that don't want to go back to school, I kind of give them private tutoring to make sure that they're prepared for the afterlife. Football's not forever, it's just a short-term thing. And I think that everybody should be prepared for what's out there, what I call the real world.
I mean, right now it's like you got to set your foundation for after football. Put money away, trust funds and stuff like that. I mean, football is helping you to set your foundation. And PSI to help me a lot to set that right now. And and if you're done at 27, at least you set a foundation in PSI, and it help you set your foundation. You're financially stable. I mean, you own your little business, or just live off what you save if you made enough money.
Don't keep it, brother. You got to keep the faith. Yeah, keep the faith. Don't keep it, sister. You got to keep the faith. I told my brother how to do the thing. Dip, the way you got run. Go forward, don't let them get in your way. You can be your winner if you keep it.
Making it all the way to the NFL is a pretty lofty goal for anyone. But for those successful athletes who do make it, setting goals and having high ideals is nothing new. And it doesn't stop once you get there.
I want to be the best receiver I can. And I don't know if that means being the best in the NFL, or just being the best on my team, or just being just another receiver, but I want to be the best receiver I can be. I want to be myself. I don't want to be considered an athlete similar to somebody else, and that's my goal. if anything, I want people to consider themselves like a Sean LaChapelle.
I plan on trying. If I'm a starter, I want to become Rookie of the Year, and if not next year, the year after, going to the Pro Bowl or be doing something of that sort, making an All-Pro team or something of that sort.
Well, I just want to be known as one of the best, and that's what my job is to do, to be known as one of the best receivers in the NFL, and that's what I'm working on to be. And hopefully, the God will bless me, and I become one of those type of guys.
To me, there's a lot of things I want to do at home. You know, I am going to do things in San Diego, but really I want to focus at home because a lot of people that make it from L.A. usually just leave L.A. and that's it. You know, they always helping out the city they playing in. I mean, that's fine and all, but at home is where everybody at, your friends and your family.
I've been doing ever since high school. I've always went to elementary schools and talked to students and everything, told them about drugs and alcohol and everything like that. Try to tell them to stay on the path. Don't let anybody get in their way of what they're trying to do. You know, their parents tell them to do right and wrong. They know what's right from wrong, to do what you have to do to succeed and everything. And I went home during Christmas and I talked to my old elementary school and everything. So I'll try to continue doing that.
Being a role model is important to me, you know, because I had a role model myself. You know, my idol was Marcus Allen, you know, and he came from SC and he played great football, and I never heard anything bad about him, you know, and so I found myself trying to be like him and all that, you know. You don't hear about Marcus Allen getting into drugs or Marcus Allen doing steroids or Marcus Allen getting arrested for being drunk or something like that, you know. I think that's the type of image I want to portray, you know. If some kid's looking up to me, I don't want them to hear that I got arrested for drunk driving or something like that, you know. I want them to see me, who I am, and I want them to see that, I mean, granted, I'm human, so I'm not perfect, but I try and keep a clean image.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Don't let nobody take you down. Just keep your eyes on the prize with the people that are all around. So keep the faith, baby, yeah. Because it's just a matter of time before your confidence will win out.
For 25 years, Doc has been helping young men such as yourself to realize their dreams. From everyone in the ProStars family, good luck to you in seeking your moment in time.
Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every gain, to taste the sweet. I face the pain. I rise and fall. Yet through it all, this much remains. I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and still on my side because it's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn to start from number one, trying to undo some damage